Goodey, you've got a new mate, a French referee.
Yeah, lo and behold, I have made friends with the French and specifically a French referee. Because, Andy Rowe, look at you beaming. You wouldn't be this happy had he not made that decision, would you?
Wow.
For all our millions of listeners, basically Mathieu Reynal, everyone, if you're a rugby fan, you must have seen it. You must follow me on social media, Andy Goode 10, or Jim Hamilton 4. Give you a plug as well, James. But the reality of it was Mathieu Reynal, the referee, and I'll be frank and honest. I thought he was stinking at some parts of that game. I thought. So we're mates, but if he listens to this, and he has told me, Mathieu Reynal, I'm going to announce it now, he has told me when he's allowed to, he's happy to come on the podcast and have a chat with us. So I look forward to that. No. But during the game, let's be honest, I thought he was inconsistent. But at the end, when a decision had to be made, when Bernard Foley is trying to do his shoelaces, trying to look for someone in the crowd, trying to waste time, if you don't do as you're told by the referee, I'll go back to Jim Hamilton in his career. How many times the Jims get told, no, Jim, offside, Jim, you're coming in at the side, Jim, get out that maul.
I actually thought that no meant go.
Yeah, exactly. Penalty against you. So Mathieu Reynal was clear as day in his communication, and he made a huge decision to award New Zealand with a scrum. Some may disagree. I think a lot of people agree now they've heard the audio, which I managed to get by hook or by crook. The referee mic. Imagine getting the referee mic and just having access to that to be able to put
someone
it out there on
sent you
social
that,
media.
Andrew. Now you're friends with the referees, and this has stemmed from your interaction with the guys after the European Cup final. We're all best friends.
Yeah.
He's texting me. He's tweeting me. We're drinking. Me and Andrew Bracey, Frank Murphy. Oh no, Frank Murphy weren't there. Luke Pearce, and now
Frank
you've
Murphy
got.
was there. Frank Murphy
was he?
there.
You didn't mention. Oh, he
Yeah.
doesn't like being mentioned, though, does he? Because he's loose, so he doesn't want to talk about
Yeah.
stuff, does he? He's like, don't mention me wherever because I've told the
Very
wife
true.
I'm at home, I'm not out, and stuff like that. I know how you feel, but now it has got to the point where you've built such a great rapport with referees that now the referees of all referees, I say that because the French are the ones that you go the hardest at, and we have gone the hardest at over recent years. You've given a backhanded compliment by basically saying he was awful in the game, bar that one decision, which was the headline point, to the point where someone sent you some audio and he's messaging you on WhatsApp and he's loving you.
There you go, Jim. And that's the thing. So I managed to get hold of the ref mic and the clip of where they've taken out the commentary, which is, it's always something, right? You're watching TV, and when you just listen to the commentators, and sometimes I'm guilty of doing it, sometimes when I'm commentating, Jim, I'm sure you are, sometimes you just need as a commentator to let that moment air out and be allowed it to happen, and so everyone can hear the referee, you can hear the noise, you can hear the emotion, all that stuff. Sometimes some commentators, some co-commentators talk over it, and I'm always conscious of if you're hearing something, when the referee is speaking, a co-comms or a lead comms, I don't think should be speaking, because the viewer at home needs to hear what the referee's saying, because it actually helps a little bit with their decision making on how good the ref is or not. And so I got the underlay where they took out the Australian comms and just heard what Mathieu Reynal said, whacked it on social media. Next thing I know, someone says, can I give Mathieu Reynal your number because he wants to say thank you
Who are
for...
all these people? Who are these somebodies? Who sent you the audio? Someone must have sent you the
mate.
audio. Like, what Kiwi has sent you the audio?
Andy Rowe. I've got friends in high places now, James, because I am on that mission to become a world-class TMO. But no, I had to agree with him. Like, he got some decisions massively wrong in the game, but in that one, and when you hear the audio, when you hear exactly what he's saying, I don't think Bernard Foley's got a leg to stand on. And it was quite interesting. He spent the next day and a half doing loads of interviews, getting out in the press, and fair play to him for doing it, but you've been caught with your hand in the cookie jar, because you're telling fibs, son. You are telling fibs. You knew exactly what was going on. You knew what Mathieu Reynal was telling you to do, and you just ignored him, and you suffered the consequences. And listen, I was desperate for Australia to win, just so I can come on this podcast and abuse Andy Rowe.
It's not very nice.
No, well, you know, just give you a bit of banter, because it's 20-odd years, isn't it, since they won the Bledisloe. So
Well, being horrible. Don't be horrible to Australia. You don't need to say that stat, but that is the stat.
So I was desperate, and I was watching it. I was on my way up to a lunch to speak at a lunch in Birmingham, and I was watching it on the train, and it was an unbelievable test match. Let's make no bones about it. It's up there with one of the best test matches I've seen in recent times. And I was desperate for the Aussies to win because they've come on strongly. Obviously, we like Drew Mitchell. We're good friends with him. And, you know, I'm looking at him, Stan Sport, get Drew Mitchell more on the TV, please. Get rid of a couple of the old dinosaurs. But I thought it was great. And I was desperate for Australia to win. Yeah, Mathieu Reynal got the decision right. But Australia could still win the test if they defended right, and they didn't. And New Zealand took the chance and won the game, and fair play to them.
Can we talk about time wasting? Because that is quite topical at the moment. Do you think this is a reaction to what's been talked about in the press, or do you think this is a one-off incident, or do you think that actually there's been a directive to clamp down on time wasting?
Well, that question is the question, because me and Goodey, I think we're going back and forth on WhatsApp because we love our ruggers. When have you ever seen that given? Now, I'll give my opinion quickly on it because I think it is important that I did flip-flop and change my mind. When I initially saw it, I was like, that's harsh. And I still, a part of me, think that it was a harsh call because you've never seen it given. But now that Goodey got the audio off someone, and you hear it in just that, if you just hear it solely in that format, which is what Bernard Foley, because he was close to Mathieu Reynal, then you can understand why. But how many times have we seen that? He could have just said, I'm stopping the clock again. You need to kick it or I'm going to ping you. If he did that...
They didn't.
No, but
he
that's...
gave him a warning.
I know he did, but if he would have stopped his clock again, and then no one from the All Blacks would have complained. No one would be talking about it now and said, oh, he's been given 2 warnings. No one. Even if they give him a 3rd warning, no one would be talking about it. Be like, mate, you need to kick it. That's the whole thing around it. We've never seen it given. But Australia, all his teammates, Bernard Foley, were screaming at him to kick it. So then everyone could feel the emotion and not the irony. He was half a second from kicking the ball, and he didn't. So he's learnt the hard way, unfortunately. But like Goodey said, there was a number of calls in there. The Darcy Swain incident, for example, which was a complete dog move that I tweeted about that went viral. Didn't tweet it to go viral, and didn't really tweet it because I wanted him to see it. I tweeted it because it was a dog move, and you don't do them kind of things. So there's a number of things that could have went a different way. But I think the time wasting one, whether or not they've spoken about it, Andrew's going out for dinner with them all tomorrow, I think, when they get back. So maybe he can tell us next week. But it's the fact that we have never seen that given ever. And my goodness me, massive consequences.
Yeah, and you're talking about never seen it ever. What they're trying to do now, and they're trying to bring it, we've seen a few of them. You know, the 5-second use it rule around the rucks when people are building the fucking Saracens long ruck
Centipede,
train, whatever you want to call it, centipede ruck thing. And in doing that, then referees are now clamping down to stop that and just giving a scrum to the opposition. So it's a clear kind of policy from refs. You think back to that France-Wales game in the Six Nations that lasted, there was a half that lasted over an hour, and it was the 100-minute game or something like that. That's what they're trying to get away from. Now, it's quite interesting. I put it out on social media, obviously. It's gone viral. I've got loads of people coming back to me who have never in their life been in that sort of arena going, oh, he wouldn't have been able to hear the referee. I'm like that. How do you know? Have you ever been in that situation? Because I have. Let me be honest, I have. And I was someone that wanted the game to be as slow as possible because I was always out of breath and couldn't breathe, right? So I knew every trick in the book to slow the game down and did it regularly. But I could always hear the referee, and it never once did the referee ping me for taking too long because he gave me a warning, and then you listen to the ref, you're eking out the clock as much as you can, and then bang, you take the kick. So I've been in that situation where refs have said, come on, Goody, hurry up, kick it, Goody, clock's on you, that sort of thing. And you just get on with it and kick it. Yeah, but Bernard Foley, he's turned around, he's not even interested in what Mathieu Reynal's saying. He's looking at his forwards, and then the next day he comes out, he's like, mate, we have a process that we go through, to get the call, clarity and all that stuff. I went through all the other penalties because obviously I'd put something out there that I knew was going to go pretty big and I'd be questioned on. I've gone through all these other penalties. He doesn't take anywhere near that sort of time in all the other kicks to touch. And it's ironic, isn't it? When he makes the half break, offloads to Kellaway scores the try, he rushes the conversion even before the TV can get the picture of him taking the conversion on, because he knows there's a chance that that's a forward offload. So it goes both ways. You rush a conversion because you don't want them to check the forward offload or forward pass, And then at the other end of the field, you're time wasting because you know there's 90 seconds left and you can eke out 10 seconds. What they should have done is kick it into touch and then take as much time as possible to get to the line out. So it's something that you hope now, and there's all this thing around it's the first time it's ever been done. In that sort of situation, you want consistency from referees. Yeah, you do. And that's what you have to hold referees to now. The consistency of if that is a decision that they're going to make, and if that is a directive from World Rugby around speeding the game up, around making it more watchable, all the refs have got to do it. But that is the debate we always have, isn't it, around decision making and referees. And one day Mathieu Reynal is going to come on here, and we've been texting and we're friends, and I love French referees now.
I'll just finish on this because I think it's an important point. The trial by social media that we saw after the storm, effectively on social media, was one thing we're seeing. We've mentioned it over the recent weeks about the shift in rugby. I quite like it, the interaction. But the other thing that I like that's been on social media is, like what Goodey put up, is the audio, but is also that interaction specifically with Nick White and Reynal that's doing the rounds and gone viral. After the game where Nick White goes up to him and says, what's going on? And Mathieu Reynal apologises, but in a way in which he says, I'm sorry that you've gone through that.
Nick White says, you've cost us a fucking rugby championship, mate. You've cost us the championship.
Sorry. I do make it the big balls. I do have us a big balls, and I call it, and I say I is sorry, but you don't think I do this. You don't think I got the big balls, but I have, and I have a massive balls, and now I go out. No, I'm not, because I'm not allowed to go out because someone might hurt me. But Nick, don't come at me like that again. Don't you do it there again. Something like that.
Hold on a minute. What is he? Is he like half Japanese, half German?
Yeah, I think he was from Dallas, Texas, via Portugal. But he said something like that. My point is, I enjoyed the interaction after that we got to see. And that is the beauty, if there is a beauty, of social media. So I'm just going to park it there. You don't think I got the balls? You don't think I have? Well, Australia, geez, Louise, he's fucking dead.